President Trump's former national security advisor, Ambassador John Bolton. Ambassador, I said a few minutes ago I was curious to, ask you how you see things, and I am just big picture. How would you characterize where things stand between the United States and Iran right now?
Well, I think Iran was the big winner in the Memorandum of Understanding. They kicked all the important issues down the road. They got immediate relief from U.S. sanctions. The Treasury Department has issued what they call a general license, freeing Iran from the sanctions. The blockade has been lifted. Tankers carrying Iranian oil are on their way out of the Gulf. It's true some ships are getting out from the Arab side. Of course, they were getting out before the MOU was signed because we were escorting them out, which leads you to wonder just how dangerous that passage ever was and how much of the closure was bluffed by the Iranians. But the negotiations are off to a very slow start, as you might expect, and that plays to Iran's advantage. Delay works on the side of the nuclear proliferator. It works on the side of the country that desperately needs to dig out from the destruction that the 6 weeks of U.S. And Israeli attacks caused.
To your point on sanctions relief and assets being unfrozen, I have this screen here on our telestrator about the assets that are set to be unfrozen, and $6 billion and $6 billion. The $6 billion processed through Qatar before the talks and then confirmed in Switzerland, a total of $12 billion. The president even today was critical in his remarks of former President Obama, saying, oh, he gave him billions and billions in cash. But isn't this the same thing, unfreezing their assets and doing so early on in the process?
Of course it is, and the Iranians know it better than anybody else. Now, there's this comment that J.D. Vance made in Geneva that Jared Kushner came up with a plan to use the unfrozen assets for Iran to buy food and other basic human needs from the United States. Now, that's not what the Memorandum of Understanding says. It says Iran can use them for any purpose it wants. But let's assume that some amount of that $12 billion actually resulted in purchases of food from the United States. Let me introduce the concept of the fungibility of money. Frozen asset money that Iran uses to buy food for its desperately poor people is money they don't have to spend out of their own treasury and that they can now spend on weapons, on assistance to Hamas and Hezbollah, on recreating their nuclear program. It's a fool's errand to say that somehow unfreezing all these assets to this regime in an hour of need for them isn't a big boost to help re-entrench the regime inside Iran.
What about the inspectors? The vice president said, well, yeah, we have this agreement that the inspectors come in, and the Iranians have said they've made no such commitment. When the president was asked about that earlier today, he said, no, that's wrong. They're wrong, and they know this. What do you make of all that with the inspectors?
Yeah, I wonder if either Donald Trump or J.D. Vance can say the words International Atomic Energy Agency, which is where these inspectors come from. They've been in Iran for many years at different times, and the Iranians have lied to them, cheated, have kept off limits critical sites where work related to the nuclear weapons program is ongoing. Just take the Parchin military base as one key example where weaponization work was concentrated. They've hidden sites from them, most recently quite near the Natanz location, a new place called Pickaxe Mountain, where they appear to be tunneling into mountains to build new underground uranium enrichment facilities. So the Iranians have a way to do this. They've copied others. Jim Baker, former Secretary of State, once called this approach cheat and then retreat. And that's what they're doing. I'm sure the IAE inspectors know all the nice hotels in Tehran, and that's where they may sit for a long while the real nuclear work is hidden from them.
All of this said, is it still possible to get to a place that would be considered successful from a U.S. point of view, at least by someone like you, and if so, how?
The only way you're going to have peace and stability in the Middle East, the only way you're going to prevent Iran from getting nuclear weapons or being the world's largest state sponsor of terrorism is to get rid of the regime. We had a very successful 6-week-long military campaign. It's what the Israelis call mowing the lawn. That's what we achieved. But politically, this is turning into a real defeat for the United States. The regime is still in power, and once that oil revenue really starts flowing in large amounts, they're going to be able to retrieve what they've lost, put themselves back in a position of power, and threaten their neighbors.
What do you think was the president's biggest mistake in this whole process?
Not having a clear objective to start with. I still don't know what the objectives were. I thought, as I think many others did at the beginning, that maybe it was regime change, but we didn't do the groundwork we should have done, so I think that was doomed almost from the beginning, unfortunately. And I think if the president had given a clear metric at the beginning, for example, simply saying 6 weeks of destruction of Iran's military-industrial complex, he could have said with confidence at the end of it, we've accomplished our mission and we're going home. But he never could articulate what exactly he was trying to do.
Ambassador John Bolton, thank you, sir.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.